We're back on NBA 2K24, and today's video, as the title says, is trading one all-star, the star player from each team, to another team's star. This is randomized. I have the entire list right here, but you can see the first team we have today is the 76ers with Jalen Brunson. You can only imagine who the trade was for. I'm not going to say who the trade's for. You can figure it out by yourself. Maybe comment down below before every trade is made and see who you think is going to each team for each trade. But I did randomly do it until the end. You have to kind of like put the players together. You know, you only have 4 teams left, 2 teams left. They have to go there. So these are the trades that we made. The Milwaukee Bucks now have Kevin Durant. Their starting 5 is crazy. I also updated all of the starting rosters for the team to make sure that these players are in the roster and the rosters all make sense. That way there's no holes. Except for this team, Kristaps is coming off the bench. I'm going to change that. But Victor Wembanyama is now on the Boston Celtics with Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White. Golden State Warriors get Paolo Banchero. Really a downgrade for this team. Sorry, Warriors fans. I don't know what else to say. The Lakers get Anthony Edwards. What a trade this is. I think both organizations are happy with these trades. Anthony Davis and Anthony Edwards with D'Angelo Russell, Rory. Solid team, solid team. I hope they make the playoffs. LaMelo Ball joins the Miami Heat. Think this is kind of an upgrade, maybe a downgrade a little bit because they get a star point guard with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. The Knicks obviously get Joel Embiid. Upgrade, maybe. But I don't know why Mikal Bridges is coming off the bench. I guess OG's better. Dante's better than Josh Hart. They just want to play those players. So Los Angeles Clippers trade away a player for Alfred Sengun. Technically a downgrade for this team as well. Sorry, Clippers fans, you'll have to deal with James Harden. And why the hell is Batum in? San Antonio Spurs get Chris Paul and Jason Tatum together. I'm on board with this trade. I think it's actually a positive trade for the San Antonio Spurs, and it's a good trade for the Boston Celtics. As you saw before, you get Victor Wembanyama. I think it's kind of like, you know, both teams are happy. It's really not a downgrade at all. Both teams are going to be really good, maybe go in deep in the playoffs. New Orleans Pelicans get Zach LaVine, and Brandon Ingram is now the power forward. You can kind of guess who that is. Downgrade for the Pelicans, upgrade for the other team. Houston Rockets now have Kawhi Leonard. Huge upgrade for this team. Might put them in contention as well with Fred VanVleet. Kawhi and Fred is back. The duo is back. Steven Adams is here and Thompson off the bench. As you saw earlier, Minnesota Timberwolves get LeBron James. So I kind of had to mix up the players to make this work. Jaden McDaniels at 6'9" is a shooting guard. LeBron is 6'9" at small forward. Karl-Anthony Towns is 6'11". This team is huge. Mike Conley's the only small guy. We're only doing one season, guys, so don't be worried about that. It's not going to go too deep. Ja Morant is a Denver Nugget with Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. Darren Holmes is the starting center for this team, and I don't see anyone else that could possibly fill that role. Kind of a downgrade. Sorry, Nuggets fans. Grizzlies fans, I think you're happy with that trade. Scotty Barnes was a trade. So Pascal and Scotty are back together. Miles Turner. This team got worse. Maybe, I don't know. This is kind of a 50-50 for me because I feel like both teams would be happy with this trade. Dallas Mavericks get DeAndre Ayton. Yep, that's who it is, DeAndre Ayton. So you get Kyrie, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, and DeAndre Ayton with Daniel Gafford coming off the bench. Obviously a downgrade because you lose somebody that's very important to the team, one of the best players in the league, a perennial all-star, perennial Hall of Fame player. But I think they worked it out. I think this trade worked out in the favor because honestly, like some of these trades, you trade for like Domantas Sabonis and now Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein are like on the bench. Definitely need to redo this roster because it doesn't make any sense. But you lose somebody that's very important to this team, and I think it's a downgrade. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is now a Kings player. Kings got Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, JaVale McGee, De'Aaron Fox off the bench. Yeah, it's a upgrade for the Kings, most definitely. Honestly, both these teams still gonna be good, still gonna make it far. Phoenix Suns get No, they don't get Devin Booker. You put Devin Booker with Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bradley Beal, and Yusuf Nurkic. I think it's an upgrade for the Phoenix Suns. I think Giannis is better overall for this team than Kevin Durant could ever be. They definitely need the rebounding. They need the assists. They need the dunking. Devin Booker needs somebody under the board. Kevin Durant's not really that guy. He kind of takes the ball away from him. So honestly, a W trade. Stephen Curry, Wardell, is on the Orlando Magic. He's going to have to put up 60 a game to make this team relevant. And he might do that. Honestly, Jalen Suggs is definitely going to be put in the shooting guard position. There's still a few changes that the coach game plan didn't put in that I think need to be addressed. Honestly, I thought I went through them all, but not. I guess not. Tyrese Halliburton is the starting point guard for the Toronto Raptors. This is a W trade for them. I think RJ Barrett, Grady Dick. It's a W trade for them, but does it make them any better? Probably not. The East is still kind of weak, but I think in the power rankings, they'll probably end up like 11, 10-ish, maybe playing game and make it through to the 8th seed, 7th seed. The Atlanta Hawks have Kyle Kuzma. Sorry, Hawks fans, you lose Trae Young. You get Kyle Kuzma. You guys are rebuilding for the next century. All right. Chicago Bulls, you got a W trade. I'm not going to lie. For Zach LaVine, you got somebody fantastic for this roster, Zion Williamson, and you get Kobe Watt off the bench with Lonzo, Josh Giddey. It's a good trade. It's a good trade for you guys. You guys might actually make the playoffs. Nikola Jokic is a Memphis Grizzly player. This is a W trade for them. You don't have John Morant sitting out the entire season, and overall, Jokic is him. He's the MVP usually. So this is going to maybe put them, I would say maybe 6th seed in the West. They are pretty solid. Detroit Pistons have Donovan Mitchell. This does not make them relevant, I don't think. Maybe in the long run, they, will make it work. I don't know how long his contract is, but we're only doing 1 year. So Donovan Mitchell, I don't think you pull the Pistons out of the you're terrible, this team's like awful category, but maybe playing. Maybe. Luka Doncic, as Stephen Curry is doing, is going to have to carry, and I mean carry, this team to the playoffs. And I don't know. With the team that he had with the Mavericks, they only made it to the Western Conference. Well, actually, no, they made it to the finals. They won the Western Conference against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I don't think Luka and Anthony Simons are going to make it too far in the playoffs. They will probably make it because Luka is him, but I don't think they make it too far. The Brooklyn Nets get a Lauri Markkanen. They needed a star. They needed like a Luka to make them relevant, and they got somebody that's just as mediocre as the player they traded for. So Nets are still going to be terrible. Cleveland Cavaliers get Cade Cunningham, obviously, because Donovan Mitchell may be relevant, maybe playoffs. I don't know. Donovan Mitchell for Cade Cunningham is an interesting trade. Both organizations kind of benefit from this, but I don't think Cade's that guy to make the Cavaliers like a championship team. Well, I'm excited to see this, honestly, because Cameron Thomas to the Utah Jazz, they get even worse. I'm excited to see this because each team does have some interesting trades and interesting lineups with the trades that they made. Obviously, you get Trae Young on the Wizards with Jordan Poole and Malcolm Brogdon and Alex Sarr. I don't really know. They don't have anyone. Nobody to fill these roles. They're still going to be terrible. Trae Young's going to put up like 50 a game, and they're still probably going to be out of the playoffs. Jimmy Butler makes the Hornets not relevant at all. I think they're still going to be terrible. Jimmy Butler's going to probably retire after this year because he got shipped off to Charlotte. And that's every single trade. And as I said before, I will fix the rest of the rosters, but we will simulate one season and go through the playoffs. And hopefully in the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, we can simulate and get into some of those games and get some live gameplay for you, because in the past few videos, I have not been able to. So let's skip ahead to the end of the season and go to the playoffs. As I'm looking through it, guys, I'm going to cut to this because I think De'Aaron Fox and Shea should play together. The Kings are going to win it all. What in the hell is this team? Everyone but JaVale McGee is just a solid player. Josh Hart is a power forward. What is going on here? Okay. See you guys in the playoffs. We are one game away from the playoffs, and I just wanted to check the standings. The Wizards are 25-56. Sorry, guys, but we are going to check out the league leaders quick. I just want to see the top 5 for each category. Anthony Edwards on the Lakers and LeBron James for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Absolutely phenomenal year from them. You can look at the top 5 right here. We're going to say kind of like our standouts. If anyone got traded, Embiid on the Knicks. That's so weird. And for assists, LeBron's still up there and Tyrese Halliburton. But let's simulate this last season of the last game of the regular season, and our MVP goes to LeBron James. He steals it from Anthony Edwards, but LeBron did almost average a triple-double with 31, 7, and 10 a game. Giannis Antetokounmpo is Defensive Player of the Year. He wins it like every time, with 1.7 blocks, 1 steal. His stats look pretty good on that team, but you have to remember he's with Devin Booker now. Jonathan Kuminga, Most Improved Player. Now Stephen Curry's gone. He's got to take over for, who is it? Domantas Sabonis is on that team now, I think. No, it's Orlando Magic. Paulo Banchero. So he averaged 19, 4, and 2. Definitely took a step up this year. And the Coach of the Year goes to Tom Thibodeau. Knicks, right? So Joel Embiid did help that team have the best record in the league. First team All-NBA. Weird seeing Kyrie not get traded in the simulation. Luka's a little bit higher overall. Western Conference, Kings and the Lakers are 9 and 10, and the Oklahoma City Thunder and Portland Trailblazers are 7 and 8. On the other side, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami Heat, and the Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets. This is super cool to see that the Lakers are gone with Anthony Edwards, who averaged 36 a game almost. Honestly, I'm just going to let you guys look at this, and we are going to simulate into the Western Conference Finals. You know who is playing who. We're not going to go through each individual team. Let's simulate round 1. If there's any upsets, I'll let you know. The Bulls have been eliminated. That doesn't surprise me. Hornets, Pistons, Bucks, Blazers, Kings get eliminated by the Dallas Mavericks. I honestly thought the Kings would be a lot better. I put De'Aaron Fox and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the same rotation with DeMar DeRozan. They're definitely a solid team, but it looks like the Mavericks beat them in a 4-2. Now, Pelicans versus Dallas Mavericks, Phoenix Suns versus the San Antonio Spurs, the New York Knicks versus the 76ers, and Atlanta Hawks versus the Boston Celtics. These are matchups that everyone kind of predicted, you know, it's 1-4, 2-3, 1-5, 2-3. No one really expected the Bulls to be that good, at least honestly just me, I don't know. Here are the matchups. I'm gonna have to switch over to the teams now. If any of these games go to game 7, we will hop right in and watch that game and simcast it till the end. Hopefully we can jump in one of these game 7s. San Antonio Spurs, you are the first game. I have to find you. There you are. Here's the lineup for this game. You've got Giannis versus Jason Tatum. I think Giannis obviously takes that, but for team play, yeah, I still got to give it to Phoenix. They're definitely going to win this series. Second series is the Celtics versus the Hawks. Victor Wembanyama against Kyle Kuzma. How are the Hawks here? Guys, no. How in the world are the Hawks here? Who was on the Hornet? Jimmy Butler. How are the Hawks and the Hornets here? The East must have been terrible. They actually lucked out on all of these trades and got some crap players. The East is so weak. I can't believe it. Celtics are going to win this. No idea how Kyle Kuzma makes the Hawks relevant, but Hawks fans, stand up, clap. Kyle Kuzma has led you into the second round. For our third matchup, it is the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Dallas Mavericks. We got DeAndre Ayton and Kyrie Irving versus Zach LaVine, DeJounte Murray, and Brandon Ingram. How in the world are these teams making it through, yet the Lakers couldn't have made it? The Timberwolves didn't make it this far. This is insane. I guess average teams make it, and the teams that have perennial superstars just can't handle it. Maybe those superstars that were on those teams originally were the only piece holding them together, and then just one trade makes a team that maybe is close to being a contender becomes that contender, and I guess Zach LaVine fits that mold for the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion was the problem. And in our final matchup, we have the Knicks versus 76ers. Oh, I accidentally simulated, guys. We didn't even get to look at this matchup, even though I was on the Knicks and it glitched. We're just going to simulate here, continue all of those. The Spurs got eliminated, sorry, guys. But Joel Embiid, this is just a fluke. It happens, you know. Tyrese, Jalen Brunson for Joel Embiid. These guys got traded for each other and they're playing against each other. Any series kind of close right now. Phoenix Suns eliminate the San Antonio Spurs. 3-2 for the Hawks and the Celtics, and 3-2 for the Mavericks and the Pelicans. Maybe the Knicks can make a comeback with Embiid, but Jalen Brunson is showing him why he is the better player. Let's simulate some of these games and see if we can get into a game 7. And for some reason, the Atlanta Hawks are 3-3 with the Boston Celtics. There is our game 7. We got one of them. The Knicks come back 2-3. Now is the Dallas Mavericks versus the Pelicans. Can these Pelicans bring it back to a 3-3 so we have 2 lineups for a simcast in this round? And no, they do not. The New Orleans Pelicans lose and have been eliminated. It is the 1 versus the 2 seed in the West. Let's see if the Knicks and the 76ers can make it a game 7 as well. Atlanta Hawks and Boston, though, we definitely need to simcast this. I don't know which game is first. I am going to go through both. The Knicks and the 76ers are first. Simulate this game because the PC version does not let me simulate games automatically. I have to click into them. Both game 7s. Let's get into it. Atlanta Hawks, Boston Celtics is first. The Hawks are incredible. I can't believe they're this close, but the Boston Celtics do pull out ahead at the end. I don't understand it. How are the Hawks so good? Kuzma has 23. They're just all averaging good numbers. It's like a drop-down list. You just count down. 23, 19, 17, 16, 15. Everyone's doing their part. But this Celtics team has a lot, and I mean a lot of good players. Jaylen Brown had 41. Victor had 20 and 8. They move on into the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go over to the Knicks game and watch the 76ers Knicks Game 7. It's 1:23 left. The Knicks just scored 127. Embiid has 27-14. And Paul George and Jalen Brunson are leading the 76ers. Let's get into it. As I said, the score, Tyrese Maxey gets to the line. It's 129-127. I have to change this camera. I say 2K low. I want 2K low, please. Thank you. Knicks now have the ball. 1:23 left. Joel Embiid is the point guard, I guess, bringing up the ball. I don't really know who their actual point guard is. I think it's DiVincenzo, but Embiid's like, I got Andre Drummond on me, and he's a bum. I'm about to make the Madison Square Garden go crazy. Brings the ball all the way down the court, makes a post move, and gets two points. My brain fried. Jalen Brunson. This is the matchup because both teams traded both of their stars and are facing in a Game 7 in the second round of the playoffs. And this is insane to see. Jalen Brunson against Knicks fans. He is like a Knicks-loved player. He will go down in history. His number will be retired, guaranteed. Scores 2 baskets. 2 baskets. What is wrong with me? Scores 2 there. 131-129. Joel Embiid brought up the ball again. Just playing bully ball against Andre Drummond, but Drummond does get a good contest, and Embiid misses. 34 seconds left. Jalen Brunson here. Easy 2. Puts them at a huge advantage. The Knicks are not fouling. Robert Covington with the right screen and gets the illegal screen call. All you had to do, Robert Covington, was stand still. Oh, it's going to come down to the wire, isn't it? 27 seconds left. The Knicks have a chance to tie or take the lead here with Joel Embiid as the starting point guard, I guess. Timeout is called by the Knicks. Paul George is the player of the game. I don't know how many points he has. 34. I think that's what we said earlier. That's a good stat from Paul George. Good to see number 45. And DiVincenzo goes backcourt. That's totally what a Knicks player would do with the game on the line. What a play by DiVincenzo. And Robert Covington gets redemption. They're fouling now. We're going to play the foul out. DiVincenzo fouls out. Not the smartest play from this guy. I don't know who the new point guard is. Josh Hart, maybe? Maybe it's Miles McBride. Mikal Bridges. Miles McBride, yeah, I think. OG, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. What is this lineup? Tom Thibodeau's lost his mind. Josh Hart brings up the ball, 18 seconds left. Get it down to Embiid, get the easy bucket. Andre Drummond is playing defensive player of the year right now on Joel Embiid. He's locking him up. Julius Randle from 3, and I think his foot was on the line. That shot was terrible. We're out of this game. Knicks go home and stay home. Philadelphia 76ers win this game. Simcast the rest. I'm not watching free throws. Joel Embiid with 29 was not enough to Paul George's 34 and Jalen Brunson's 30. And the Western and Eastern conferences are set up for their finals. Boston Celtics versus the 76ers and the Mavericks versus the Phoenix Suns. We both know how both teams look. Don't think we need to look at the matchups. If these games go to game 4 through 7, I will simcast every game. But if it's a 4-0 sweep, I'm not going to look at it. 3-0, 3-0, 4-0. I'm just going to simulate the game. So let's get to the game 4s, and hopefully we have good matchups in these finals. The Boston Celtics are leading the 76ers 3-0. Dallas Mavericks and Phoenix Suns are 2-1. Let's simulate this game. Philadelphia does come back, so we're into the simulation part of simcasting. Get right into it. I'm excited. Mavericks versus Suns. Game 4. Mavericks take it home 124-115. Both players that were traded. Ayton had 11 and 13. He's just kind of a key piece for this, and Giannis had 13, 7, and 7. That is sad. No wonder why they lost. Over to the Celtics and the 76ers again. Game 5. It's a 3-1, and the Celtics take it home. The 76ers have been eliminated. Celtics go on to the finals. Jaylen Brown had 37. Kristaps Porzingis with 26, and Wembanyama with 26. What a solid roster. We knew they'd be here after this trade. Tatum for Victor Wembanyama is like easily one of the most lateral moves both teams could make with perennial all-stars. Dallas Mavericks, you're back on the clock. Can you make the NBA Finals against the Phoenix Suns? Simcast Game 5. It's getting close, and the Phoenix Suns tie it. Bradley Beal just hit a 3 with a Booker assist. 23 seconds left. Mavericks should have the ball here. All right, Mavericks do have the ball. Klay Thompson has it at the top of the key against Bradley Beal. 18 seconds left. Shot clock is off. I would have jumped in a little bit sooner, but the Mavericks were up by like 5 the entire time. We are not seeing anything. Just ISO Klay Thompson. He thinks he's back on the Warriors about 3 years ago. Passes it out to Quentin Grimes for 3 seconds. Oh my God, Giannis fouled him. 2.2 seconds left. That's enough time. Phoenix does have a timeout to move the ball up the court, but this is a crazy turn of events. Why is Grimes in the game? It's just like, why is Batum in? Hopefully he hits at least one of these free throws, right? Quentin Grimes, career path on the line, makes the first. Crowd goes wild. One Phoenix Suns fan is behind the basket crying, hoping his mommy doesn't see him on TV. Grimes hits the second. You could tell by the release. Phoenix Suns take a timeout. Dallas, interesting to have Grimes in the game. I wonder if Kyrie or somebody had to have fouled out. There's no way that guy starts or ends the game. Yeah, I don't see Kyrie. He must have fouled out. That's an important game for the Mavericks to win, and Kyrie's got to be there. Injuries are off, so it's not an injury. It's got to be a foul out, or the coach is just mediocre. 28 points from Klay Thompson. Suns bring in the ball with 2.2 seconds left. Are they going to get it into anyone good? Grayson Allen shoots a 3 from the corner and misses it. The Dallas Mavericks go on to the NBA championship. I can't believe that Giannis on the Phoenix Suns could not get to the finals, but the Mavericks are stacked to begin with. Being somebody like Ayton does help their chances of winning, I guess. Losing Luka means nothing. So Mavericks are really that good. There's Kyrie holding up the trophy, even though we didn't see him at the end of the game. Let's check out the game stats. Did he foul out? Yep, 6 fouls, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. That must have been early in the game, but he did not pass the ball much. 3-1. Guys, I thought it was over with. Sorry. Wait, No, it's over. It's 100% over. What just happened? Wait, it's an OT. Okay. It still happened. I don't know how, but for some reason it did not give the Mavericks that game. I gotta look at the box score. It held up the trophy and everything. Is 2K really that bugged? Game 4, where are you? Game 4 was 120. Yeah, game just bugged, but it still gave the Mavericks a win. Okay, we're in the NBA Finals. 2K24 is garbage. 2K25 better be better than this. Let's see what the lineups look like. It's Kyrie versus Drew, Derek White versus Klay Thompson, PJ Washington versus Jaylen Brown, Derek Lively versus Kristaps Porzingis, DeAndre Ayton versus Victor Wembanyama. I'm gonna give it to the Celtics here. I think they win in 6 games, 4-2. But let's simcast every single game, and hopefully we can get into a few of these to see the NBA Finals matchup for the Trading All-Stars simulation. Celtics take a commanding first game win, 133-100. Kyrie had 36, but no help. A little bit of help from Klay, but Ayton is a bomb 5 for 15. Victor Wembanyama had 15, 8, and 4. They're not really making the charge here. It's the players that they're around. Jaylen Brown had 38. Game 2. Looks like the Celtics are going to pull out a victory here, 133-125. It got close, but the Celtics kept scoring. I'm not going to jump into that. 43, 7, and 10 for Kyrie Irving. Ayton had 14 and 11, not too bad. Victor Wembanyama had 26 again. Seems like what he scores, but Jaylen Brown could not carry them too hard this time. He had help. 2-0. Mavericks, you need to get 1. All right. 1 game is all I ask of you. And oh god, it skipped out of it, but it wasn't even close. Final score of game 3, 121-115. Brown had 33 and 13. Mavericks, Kyrie had 40. And Gafford had 24. I don't know. Ayton had 6 and 5 with 31 minutes. Kind of an L trade, I guess. And with the final game, probably of the series, can the Mavericks not get swept? They get swept. 151-136. Mavericks do not play any defense, I guess. Same thing could be said for the Celtics, but they got some pretty good defenders. Victor Wembanyama wins this simulation of All-Stars. Honestly, kind of got lucked into the trade for the Celtics, but let's look at playoff leaders. Kevin Durant with 38 points per game. Kyrie with 38 as well on a losing Mavericks franchise. Still got to the finals, though. Donovan Mitchell and Jaylen Brown and Luka Doncic. Can't believe Luka made the playoffs with that team. Rebounds per game, Joel Embiid. Andre Drummond, I guess he played out of his ass. I love to see that. And for assists per game, LeBron, Luka, Chris Paul, yada, yada, yada. This video's over. We've seen the standings. You want to look at the worst teams in the league. Denver Nuggets went from with Ja Morant, 30 and 52, and they were worse than the Utah Jazz. Denver Nuggets fans take the L. Toronto Raptors with Tyrese and Washington Wizards with Trey. None of these really surprised me. The only one that really surprised me, though, was the Detroit Pistons making it, and they are like 44 and 38. And the Chicago Bulls. Did anyone see this on their bingo card? I did not see 46 and 36 from the Chicago Bulls. No, this is the standout. I forgot about this. Why in the hell are the Atlanta Hawks the 2 seed with this lineup? That is absolutely disgusting. I guess they have a good bench, but no shot the Atlanta Hawks are that good. Spurs with Tatum and Chris Paul for the 3rd seed. Incredible. How are the Thunder so bad? I thought Jalen Williams would have carried this team with Sabonis and Chet Holmgren, but play-in team, I guess. I think they made it, though. No, they didn't. Nope. Portland and Sacramento made it because they won in the play-in. I think that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Anthony Edwards is the GOAT.